Hello, welcome back to Father of Two Plays Pillars of Eternity, Blind. Last time we cleared the Black Meadow, except for maybe a couple of very terrifying enemies that I did not feel confident in defeating this time. Now we're at Caed Nua. So, there's a gentleman over here. He looks very similar to myself. Let's go talk to him, shall we? Oh god, maybe not similar to me. I thought he had a godlike head. Kenna, just off the side of the path into Caed Nua, stands an imposing figure, a tall, thick-set Aumau, clad in worn armor and peering up at the outer walls of the keep. In his hand is a small piece of charcoal, and it works feverishly at taking notes upon a small scrap of paper. More than once, he has to reach up to prevent his colorful cap from falling off his head as he gazes upwards. What are you doing over there? That moldy brickwork must be fascinating, or leave. Well, let's ask him what he's doing. The man looks over at you, blinking in surprise. His face splits in a wide and very toothy grin, and he waves the parchment in greeting. Killing time, if I'm honest. I've already walked the perimeter twice. There are names scratched upon some of these bricks just there. Workers and masons, I expect, carving a little immortality for themselves. He looks up at the wall again, expression fond. It's a fine keep, Caed Nua. 2 centuries to its name, and abandoned for nearly as long.
But the truly interesting part is in there, and I haven't had much luck in reaching the keep itself. I hoped to find the master of this place, a man by the name of Merwald. But it seems that he either holds his privacy most dear, or else has been devoured by his house guests.
He points the piece of charcoal at the gates. I came here looking for Merwald as well. What do you want from Merwald? Why haven't you gone inside? I guess he seems friendly enough. Maybe I'll tell him why I'm here too.
Oh, truly? Then perhaps we can help one another. The grounds are infested with all manner of beasts. I've never seen the like. I didn't want to risk it alone, but you seem capable. Together, I'm sure we could manage it. And then we can both ask our questions of Merwald.
Oh, sounds like a mutually beneficial arrangement.
We seek a great treasure, you see. Not gold or silver, but the Tanvi Oratoa. You might call it the Book of Virtues. It's a sacred text of the Rauatai, but we possess only a fragment of it. A year I've journeyed in search of the rest, and I uncovered evidence that leads me to believe the original lies just there, beneath the keep.
Let's go meet Merwald then. Then we must find it. Why would this Tanvil Oratoa be here in Deerwood? I'm not here to dig up old relics. You're on your own. Or I can't help you just now, I'm afraid. Well, I am interested as to why it would be here if it's the Rauatai's. Precisely. That is the very question. Ha ha! It is a long and twisting tale, my friend, as all good chance should be. I could tell you more if you wish it, in time. Oh, so he's a chanter. Cool. Let's go meet Merwald then.
Excellent. Lead on, my friend, and I will be at your heels. Ah, wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Wondrous teeth, I nearly forgot. I have, at times, been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exometal they attacked outright. I believe they do not wish for me to find what I am looking for.
Okay.
I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I pay them little mind. Humorless sorts in long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know.
Oh, I like this guy already. He's being very honest. At least, as far as I can tell, he's being upfront with us. Most people wouldn't tell you that they're being pursued. I'll keep an eye out. Let's be on our way. What are a few assassins between friends? You seem very calm about this. I don't want any part of this. I'll go my own way. I actually like that response. Yeah, let's go with that. What are a few assassins between friends?
I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come then. Who knows what we will find inside?
I like this guy quite a bit already. Now, is he more of a tank? I don't really know. He's a chanter, I assume. Cool looking guy, too. Looks like he uses two-handed weapons. He does. And he has an arquebus. A firearm? Well, that's pretty cool. And he has a fine istock. I think we had one of those, and I was gonna... Yeah. And we have a fine poleaxe. Oh, I got the arquebus equipped right now. Or he does. Well, let's keep him with that for now, but I would like to... Oh, we can chat to him. Edit chants. March of the Kamoa. At the sight of their comrades, their hearts grow bold. Blessed was Wangred, quickest of his tribe. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't want to activate that. Okay, so he has a chant and then some chanter spells. If their bones still slept under that hill, none can say. Summons 3 skeletons to fight for the party. Oh, that's handy. Requires 3 phrases chanted. Alright. And the thunder rolled like waves on black seas. Creates a thunderous explosion that stuns and shoves enemies in the area of effect. Well, that seems awesome, too. Well, let's take a look at editing chants. I just want to know. Known phrases. Okay. And... Oh, I don't know what I necessarily just did there. Come, come, soft winds of death. First. Okay, so I can make different chants that are... Okay, I'm not quite sure I understand what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing it anyway. I might become... Oh, well, we have a tutorial here, so let's read that. Maybe that'll help. Chanters spend most of their time in combat speaking chants. Chants are arranged strings of magical phrases that produce different effects. As one phrase ends, its effects will linger, overlapping with the effects of the next phrase. When a chant reaches the end of the final phrase, it will loop back to the beginning. Careful arrangement of phrases can produce a powerful sequence of passive effects. Okay. Click on a chant to select it. Phrases clicked on the left panel will be added to the selected chant. If you wish to remove a phrase, click on the phrase in the chant. Okay. What do these do? Emboldens allies in the area of effect, giving bonuses to fortitude and will. Okay. Increases the movement rate and reflex of all allies in the area. Oh, that also sounds awesome. And what's this one? Drains a portion of endurance from all enemies in the area of effect. Can we do... Now let's take a look here. Can it be like... It can. Very interesting. So... Oh, we can actually go 4 long. I didn't know that. So... Oh, they can actually go... Okay. They could go as long as we want. I see. Wow, that's interesting. Well, let's create our A chant, and maybe we'll just make it a cycling through of these. They could be as long as we want, right? Oh no, maybe not. Maybe so. Well, that seems good for now. I'll do that, and then maybe I'll make this one a damaging type one, but we'll just stick with A for now. Okay, now let's go to his character sheet. Very interested in this character already. 3rd level chanter. What level are we? Okay, 3rd level. It's just our monk that's level 2. How close is she? Actually, pretty close. 500. Though these guys are gonna up or level up first. I guess it's because she got downed a few times. I'll have to be careful with her. Let's look here. Personal? No. How do I look at her character sheet? Maybe I can't. Maybe that's not what this is about. Ancient memory. Invokes a primal energy, causing allies within range to benefit from constant endurance regeneration while the chanter is chanting. Okay. Talents. Oh, that's his talent. Okay. But where's his biography? Maybe I don't know anything more about him and I have to figure it out. Should we speak to him? I think we should speak to him right away.
It's good to be on the road again. A wanderlust is nothing rare in the people of Rauatai, but often I think myself alone in loving the land as much as the sea. What shall we see next, I wonder?
Okay. There's a lot we could talk to him about. How are you holding up? I'm ready if you are. Kinda grins. Tell me about yourself.
What shall I tell? I am Kanarua, born in the royal city of Tekoa, from which rules the Ranganui. There. That is a solemn enough start. I am a lore chanter in the college there. Or at least a student of lore and a chanter both.
He grins brightly. Do you have family back in Rauatai? We have a perception thing to do here. The ancient rite, but you don't look like you're from Rauatai. Yeah, let's go with our perception one here. Do I not? He grins crookedly. I take your meaning. My family is from the Deadfire Archipelago. But I've never seen the islands. My parents traveled to Rauatai many years before I was born. They found more opportunity in Rauatai. My mother took to crafting cannons, aspiring pirate that she is, and my father's work with coral caught the eye of someone important, and then the Ranganui himself. The rest followed. What would you like to know? What made you leave the college? Tell me about the lore chanters. What is the Gate of Great Teeth? What is a Ranganui? I had other questions. Let's start at the top.
I was on the usual path at first. Theology, the traditions, when the Gate of Great Teeth was completed. It was all my father had hoped for. The greatest commission he had ever received. But it was also a sign that Rauatai was changing, looking inward. Meanwhile, I was neck-deep in the writing of a dozen nations, marveling at all the things that lay beyond our borders.
And in so many of those books and records, I found accounts of ancient Anguith. The Eterans hold a great hunger for Anguithan relics, and why shouldn't they? It was the civilization from which the Glanfithans learned to read souls. I decided that my third degree would be in history, and that I would study the Anguithans. They were at the heart of so much discussion abroad, so many discoveries. It drew some mockery. We'd watched Edir draw itself into several conflicts with the Glanfithans over these ruins. Tekoa had its own concerns. And soon I found it, a section of the Tanville Oratoa, in Adiran translation, or an Adiran translation of ancient Anguithan script, just there, without explanation. It seemed like a gift from the gods. What would you like to know? Tell me about the lore chanters. My eldest brother thinks we spend our days in song weaving wreaths from flowers, but the truth is far less exciting than that. The college preserves what knowledge our people have gathered. I would have it said that the lore chanters are Rauatai, for without them, we would have no beginning, no sense of how far we've come. We would forget ourselves with every generation. I am only a student yet, but someday I'll return and tell the keeper what I learned, and she will add my verses to the chant. What would you like to know? What is this Gate of Great Teeth? Much as it sounds, a maze of walls like the teeth of some nautical terror. It sits outside the city and guards Tekoa from invaders and storms. The storms have always been more trouble. Natonri, the angry titans, throwing themselves against Rauatai's shores. Invaders, I'm not so sure about, but perhaps I'm like the man who, being dry, throws off his rain-cloak during a storm. Kinda laughs. So my mother would have me believe. What would you like to know? What's a Ranganui? A king, our great king, ruler over all of Rauatai. He's led our people well, and he has treated my family very well. My father and he are great friends, as much as one could be friends with a king. I had other questions. Tell me about the Rauatai.
Rauatai. Shall I describe the pearl-white sands, the sapphire waters, the multi-hued tiles of the rooftops, like a mosaic upon the coast? Sorry.
I very much enjoy it, actually. Was there something specific you wanted to know? Tell me about the Kingdom of Rauatai in general. Tell me about the city you're from, Tekoa. It sounds like you miss home. Do only Aumau live there? Let's go with the top one. It's a long journey by ship to the north, past Ixmital, and across the sea. We have settled much of the Gulf, and established more recent trading colonies all along the coast. We live as best we can, like anyone else. Our land is plagued by storms, and so we stand together, whatever corner of Rauatai we hail from. Otherwise, we'd never survive. Tell me about the city you're from, Tekoa.
Tekoa is doubly famed, a royal city and home to the Coral Harbor. The Ranganui's palace is there, and we've a fleet of royal ships sitting outside the Gate of Great Teeth. Every so often, you'll hear the roar of a cannon being tested.
The finest ships in Rauatai, and so the world, are anchored there, and some of our brightest minds toil away at the artillery. My mother, for instance. Kana grins brightly. Myself, I have no talent with gunpowder. Tekoa is also home to the Lore College, of course, and we get a great many people traveling long distances to speak with the Lore Keeper, or else hear the chants and peruse the books. At least, that is how it was when I was younger. Things were a little different when I left. How so? You might say the winds are changing. The Pahari, they are. The traditionalists, in a way. The Ranganui's son stands among their number. Talk at the dinner table has changed from how far a fleet Rauatai ship might sail to how well defended our borders are. How far we have turned from the old ways. Then talk turns to barring Edarin and Valian merchant ships and... Kana sighs. Things were difficult when I left. There was so much arguing among the elders. I trust the king has kept the peace, but I worry sometimes that things have taken a turn for the worse. You aren't a traditionalist? So you're a mewling milksop? It's sensible to look to your people's own best interests. I see. I wondered about something else. Let's ask him about... Yeah. You aren't a traditionalist? Oh, I'm a regular firebrand, if you ask the other chanters. I don't see why I can't appreciate our traditions and chart a better future, but so goes the debate. It sounds like you miss home. Some parts of it, those silver cliffs and sea... Those, at least, no one can change. The day I boarded the ship for Edair, and sunrise was gold upon the water, and I nearly leapt overboard and swam for home. Tekoa has a lot of this artillery? Rauatai has a lot of artillery. We've made great advances with explosives. One of our artillery masters advised on the Godhammer bomb during the Saints' War, actually. In Rauatai itself, our efforts are more modest. Bombards, cannons. We're having some luck with mortars. You might ask my sister, if you ever visit Tekoa. She captains the Rautuana. She knows far more than I do, and enjoys great fame for it. It may not be very traditional, but even the most strident demagogue won't touch the subject of artillery. They'd lose what support they've gathered. Do only Aumau live there? Far from it! The Aumau arrived more recently, and form the greater number, but others have joined us, so long as they call themselves subjects of the Ranganui. Some of the neighbors are Orlans, for instance, fine people, though they care little for the sea. I had other questions. So, these people who are after you... Oh, them. Yes. I ran into them in Edir, or rather, they sought me out. In Edir, there were many people who had observed the Angwathan ruins in the Deerwood, and I spent some time conferring with experts. In the libraries, I found accounts of sites in Ixmital, and it was there I traveled next. But just before I found myself approached by a woman in dark robes who bade me abandon my studies for my own safety. I ignored her, of course, but I began to have the sense after that of being followed, and after that, well, one ambush on the road I would call misfortune, but 3? Who are these people? You don't seem worried about this, or I had other questions. Let's find out what we can. I thought it only fair to delve into their activities in turn. I found word of a leaden key. But past that, it was all ravings and superstitions. I might as well have gone around asking whether someone had ever seen a whale flying through the air. Some might, well, tell me yes, but the validity of their accounts is questionable. You don't seem worried about this. They haven't had much luck. The last one came up on me at a dig site and slipped on a muddy beam. I tried to catch him, reflex I should think, but he went right over the side and down 100 feet. I'm not really sure what he had in mind, but I doubt that was it. I had other questions. Yeah, I doubt he wanted to plummet to his death either. What is this sacred book you're looking for?
The Oratoa. It's not really a book. It's been passed down over the years in the form of a chant. I actually found it a little strange at first, seeing it set down in stone. It's not quite the same as a song of worship, though we have paeans to the gods as well. More a kind of moral guide. It gives us something to aspire to. The, model of a virtuous citizen of Rauatai.
Why look for it out here? Won't it have crumbled away by now? Sound boring. So, describe this virtuous citizen. You think the Angwathans were the true authors? I had other questions. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him about this virtuous
Dutiful,
citizen.
Learned, honest. The sticking point is loyal. Loyal to the people of Rauatai above all others. Fearless in their defense, and bold in aspiration. Tireless in battle or industry. An inspiration to one's people. Kana
shrugs a shoulder, his broad smile fading.
But it seems it's not that far a leap from there to the idea that we must cast out foreign influences.
Yeah, I guess so. Why look for it out here?
There have been arguments as to the chant's true interpretation. New translations, even. But any rendition of it I find in the ruins of Engwith will predate those translations by 2,000 years. And finding it here also proves that we still have much to gain from trading with other cultures. I'd be lying if I said I'm not looking forward to seeing the look on everyone's faces when I get back. But in the long term, I just think that we can learn a lot from the Engwithians. A civilization like that is something to aspire to. A model for Rauatai as a whole, and not just its people. And I want to prove that all of this is worthwhile. Traveling, seeing the world for what it is. It's been so different from sitting in the Chanter Hall and studying books.
I really like this guy. You came all this way just to win an argument? Wouldn't it have crumbled away by now? I guess, yeah, we'll ask him.
More or less. It wasn't a popular theory when I suggested it. The idea that we shared the Tanvi Oratoha with some older culture, I mean, doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't help that my family is from the Deadfire Islands. If I had a copper pond for every chanter who suggested that it's just not in my nature to conquer. My siblings, my parents, they make up for it. They build walls and cannons and ships. I've tried to explain. It isn't that I think those things aren't necessary, but if Rauatai closes itself off from trade, turns on its own people over tradition, we will fall behind, and then we'll be the ones getting conquered. I think my father tries to understand at least.
He sounds like a smart man, your father, and you're definitely an intelligent person. Won't it have crumbled away by now?
Much of Ingwith's writing is lost to us, but an engraving would survive. I found several tablets at the site in Exometal. The
Exometal.
scholar Gabranos, in particular, seems to have been fond of writing on the walls. I may have to ask you to help me carry it, if it's a large stone.
Is that what you aspire to be? I guess the virtuous citizen.
Doesn't everyone want to be a good citizen?
Kana looks away. I want to be a good person, so maybe that includes being a good citizen. You think the Anguithans were the true authors?
I don't know that the distinction is necessarily important. Rauatai has a long history, and our people have come from many different places. It matters less who wrote it than that I have found pieces of the verses all around the world. Wherever it came from, it will be Rauatai that decides what becomes of it. All the races and peoples of our kingdom coming together to create a great empire. You see, then, that I am loyal in my way.
I had other questions. You're being hunted by the Leaden Key. So it seems. It's all rather absurd. What harm could I possibly do them by finding this text? Perhaps they don't like Rauatai. How did all this begin? I ran into them in Edir, or rather they sought me out in Edir. Oh, okay, we already heard about that. Do you know anything about this place? Kednua is a marvel, an ugly crumbling marvel, but even so, it's overshadowed by what it sits upon. But the keep itself can tell you much about Edir's settlement, a very rigid people, I find. Let's be on our way. Man, I really like that guy already. Let's, quick save.
As you wish. Hey.
I'm not sure what role he's gonna play in the party. I think he will be a bit of a tank, but he doesn't have that much health. Maybe his chants make up for it. What's this? Skein bone. Well, I figure I will reconnoiter the area around first. I should set up my AIs a little better. What's going on here? One shattered cask still smells faintly of ale, long spilled into the dirt.
Hey.
Alright, looks like there's no way in this way. Unless I'm missing something, which is quite likely, or possible. Wait, should I... Wait. I want to quickly...
Laying low.
Just check around with my, mechanics. Who knows? Alright. I think that that's how you find traps and such, so I thought I'd take a look for anything out of the ordinary there. So we're down to 1 supplies, camping supplies, so we gotta be careful. We're quite a ways from civilization. Hopefully we'll find some supplies here. Looks like this doesn't go too far that way. Alright. I should make some custom formations as well. So, we have a full party.
It looks like this place has been abandoned for years.
It does look that way. And we were hoping to meet somebody here. Let's save again. So we don't have to re-explore. Oh, what do we have here? A shade. A shadow. Alright, let's attack. Crap, more shadows. I suppose we'll defeat them first. Oh, they're actually going down pretty quick, so you get in there. I guess he's chanting currently. And we gotta wait for this to build up to use any of those. Let's have him switch weapons, though, since he's right next to that guy. And you can attack there as well. Now, what do we want you doing? I don't think we need to use any spells just yet, so attack there. And you can attack there. And I will attack there. And it might do to start this chant, or there's not a chant, the Holy Radiance. Something happened to him. Current action? I don't know what that is. He's shocked? He's stunned? I'm guessing? Okay. Now, let's mark a target here. Oh, we already marked a target. Fair enough. Oh, I guess my AI did that? Well, I guess I might want to turn that off. We'll start with the shadows. Let's use this on him, actually. And that ring is not super good. It heals 15 points, I believe, I was told, so it's not that excellent. So we're chanting still. Let's switch weapons. Oh, he's got 3 sets of weapons. Well, that's kind of cool. You can attack. You're doing something. Wolf, you can attack as well. We should use these, because they are free. Or, like, usable every fight. And have you get over there. And I should attack. Now, Eder is not doing so well. Let's have him use second wind. And we can use this. Hey. Another one down. Phantom, okay. Shadows are the ones we want to take out. Phantoms are pretty tough, aren't they? Okay, let's take everybody else and attack this shadow, including my wolf. And what else should we do here? He's gonna use that. Right, we should use this other one of these. Can't seem to hit our own friends with that, so that's handy. Right, we should have him use a knockdown. I don't know if it'll work. In fact, I don't think it will, now that I think about it. They're spirits, they probably can't be knocked down. Alright, let's take out that phantom. He is the most easily taken down, I think. And you... I believe you could switch to your sword and get right in there. Well, Eder's down. A deer. Another one down. Our chanter's gonna go down, or our priest is gonna go down. I disengaged, that was a bad idea. I keep forgetting that's a thing. It's okay. There we go. So his health is 1. I don't think that's gonna do. I guess we're gonna have to rest again. Damage reduction. We want spirit, I suppose. Let's do that for now. Okay. Well, that could have gone better, but it could have gone worse too. So let's do a hard save here.
Of course.
It might be advisable to head back to town, I don't know. Oh, crap. A deer. Stay back. I was saying Eder, because that's not necessarily the right name. Oh, I don't want you to always run into battle. Can he actually hit? Oh, that's not what I wanted either. Can he actually hit from back there? That's impressive. I guess we shouldn't bother with a spell right now. However, we should use this. And... yeah, so the longer weapons actually add quite a bit of range. That's really cool. We'll save again. So we can't go in there. I thought we would be able to. Hello. What's this? This trapdoor has been battered by the elements. Tugging on the rusted handle only produces a heavy rattling. Small flame blight. Large flame blight. Okay. We don't want you to get up in there. And we want... Perhaps this would be a good time for Sunless Grasp. And we'll mark the other one in a second here. Alright, Edir, I don't know if this will be any good. Okay, one down. I shouldn't have disengaged there. But, stuff happens. And we can mark this guy. And we should have her heal herself. Let's use these. Use the other one. No, it looks like I hit my own guys. Oopsie. Give it another save. So I got a new desk on the way, on a side note, and I'm quite pleased. I ordered one a while ago, and it never showed up, and I was a little peeved about that, because I could have already ordered a different desk and had it, but oh well. Did we defeat it? Wow. Okay.
If it makes you rest easier.
It does. Okay. Let's check our map here. Now we know there's some more enemies over this way. Did I save? Oh, what is that?
Leave our village! We've done nothing to you! You can't do this!
Spectral smoke churns all around you. At first you can see nothing except the haze, but gradually you make out the wizened, hunched shape of an old elven man. His face and bone-thin arms are smeared with paint. He shakes his head, spitting the words at you. Let's just listen.
This is our village, our home! The Nine Claws have lived here almost 50 generations. We were here long before your kind brought war to our lands. You can't just burn it all!
You can't tell whether he's squinting through the smoke or scowling at you. He shudders with a cough.
Have mercy, soldier! Our warriors have all gone! You can't burn us all because of them!
After a pause, he draws back and gapes at you in horror, seemingly in response to something you didn't actually say, but illusory tongues of flame flicker at the corners of your vision. He reaches out to you and opens his mouth to say something, but all that emerges is a series of violent coughs. He falls to his knees, choking on the thickening smoke. Flames overtake the vision as you back away. So somebody burned down a village here? A village of elves? Maybe that's what was here before the Edirans moved in? We'll keep him back. And... oh, I leveled up. Can I do that? I can do that right now. Let's see. Survival. That'll cost 3 points to go up. What's the maximum? I don't actually know. Mechanics cost 2, lore costs 2, athletics will cost 4, stealth will cost 2. Well, I'm gonna up my mechanics. Maybe not. Do I have anyone else who's gonna have good mechanics? Well, let's up our survival, and let's up our stealth for now. And I think we'll save the other point, or I think we can save the other point, I hope so. Class. Vicious companion. Maybe I should up my companion a little more. Let's look at some of the other stuff, though. Offensive. Weapon focus. Adventurer. Poleaxe, Estock, Flail, no. Battle axe, sword, Morningstar, no. Dagger, rapier, mace, scepter, rod. Hatchet, spear, quarterstaff, hunting bow, unarmed. We could start using a spear. That would be kind of cool. Blunderbuss, saber, stiletto, club, pistol. Greatsword, pike, warhammer, arbalist, arquebus. So, if we want to keep using a bow, then we will go with that. Ooh, marksman. Okay, let's look at these. Savage attack. By attacking with unbridled ferocity, characters are able to sacrifice melee accuracy for a significant boost in damage. So, less accuracy in melee, but 20% more damage. Unvenomed strike. With a mixture of animal and plant, with a mixture of animal and plant venoms applied to his or her weapon, the character is able to deliver a toxic strike that does raw damage over time. Envenomed strike, 3 per rest. Marksman. Increases the character's accuracy with ranged weapons used on distant targets. Grants passive marksman +5 accuracy against distant enemies. Gunners. Reload speeds are faster for crossbows, arbalists, and all firearms. Okay. Dangerous implement. Increases damage done by implements, wands, scepters, and rods, but does a small amount of raw damage to the wielder with each attack. Ooh, that's iffy. Two-handed style, one-handed style. Two-weapon style, sorry. Specialized training increases the character's attack speed while using a weapon in each hand. While wielding a single one-handed melee weapon, some of the attacker's hits are converted to crits. 15% of hits converted to crits with one hand. That sounds pretty awesome. Two-handed style. Grants a damage bonus while wielding a two-handed melee weapon. That also sounds good. So then these are going to be Beast, Primal, Ghost, Sanctifier, and Wilders. So those are going to be boosted damage at 25 against each of those. That might be something to do down the road. Interrupting blows. Increases the chance to cause an interrupt with any damaging attacks. Grants passive interrupting blows. +15 interrupt. Vulnerable attack. Characters slow down their melee attack speed to bypass a portion of their enemy's damage reduction. Grants vulnerable attack modal speed instant. So it's a different mode like the one I have that makes me shoot slower but be more accurate. -20 melee attack speed +5 damage reduction bypass. That's pretty good. Penetrating shot. Sacrifice range attack speed for increased damage reduction. Grants penetrating shot, so that's the same thing, but for ranged weapon. And that's probably really good. The damage reduction bypass is probably very excellent to have. Bloody slaughter. All attacks at enemies with low endurance convert some hits to crits, and those crits do additional damage. Grants bloody slaughter. Passive. Self. 20% of hits converted to crits against targets with low endurance. Plus 0.5 to crit damage multiplier against targets with low endurance. Okay, and that's it. That's my timer. We're gonna finish leveling up at least. Maybe take out that Will-o'-the-Wisp first. Hold the line. Trains the character in new defensive strategies, increasing his or her engagement limit by 1. Grants hold the line. +1 enemies engaged. Snake's reflexes. Increases the character's reflex defense. So this is the same but for fortitude. And this is the same but for will. Cautious attacks. The character attacks from a defensive posture, taking care to never expose vulnerable openings. From this stance, characters receive a penalty to speed, but increase their deflection. So that might be good for Edir. Weapon and shield style. Equipped shields deflection bonus are increased and grant an equal bonus to the character's reflex. Grants weapon and shield style. We should get both that and the one-handed weapon style for Edir, I think. Fast runner. The character becomes more fleet and nimble, increasing movement rate and granting a defensive bonus against disengagement attacks. That might be good for our character, the main character. Gain 2 additional quick slots. That also sounds awesome. Gain an additional weapon slot, so that's what the other guy has. Shot on the run. So we could give that other guy the poleaxe, maybe, so he has a little more variety of damage. The recovery penalty while moving is reduced for ranged weapons. Grants shot on the run. Well, that's pretty cool, actually. Scion of Flame increases burn damage and damage reduction. Heart of the Storm, same but for shock. Spirit of Decay, same but for corrode. Increases freeze damage and damage reduction, so that's the same for freeze. Quick Switch reduces the recovery time when switching weapons or spells in grimoires. Grants Quick Switch. -4 grimoire cooldown, okay. And -1.5 weapon change recovery, okay. Allows the healing of a modest amount of health on the user. Wound binding. Field triage allows the healing of a small amount of health on an ally. That might be handy. Plus 20% health. We might want to get that. Now, I'm really looking here, and what I was thinking... where is it? Marksman. We're going to go with Marksman this time. And we're done. Alright, let's take on this Will-o'-the-Wisp. As always, we're going to keep him back. And let's mark it, I guess. Well, we defeated it awful fast. Well, geez, I'd like to keep going, but it's been a pretty long episode. So, until next time, if you enjoyed it, please leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. This is Father of Two, signing off.